What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? How you doing? Guess what time it is? It is time for the weekly forecast for all my signs. Weekly forecast time. I know I'm like a little bit late, but at least I'm like right there at the last minute this time, you know? All right. So, for those of you who would like a personal reading, if you just look right down in the description of the video, that's where you'll find everything you need to know as far as how to go about getting one. And I do have a few other announcements to make, but I'm going to save those till the end of the video. I'm sure y'all just want me to jump right into this. So, all right, let's jump on into this. What's up, y'all? There y'all are. There y'all are. Is YouTube going to notify people tonight? Yeah, there y'all are. Okay. All right. Let's see what messages we have for Aries. But you see, I don't know, man. Maybe the counter is just never accurate. Because comments are going and my counter thing only says I have one person in the chat. Whatever. All right. Aries. Thank you, Vita, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Aries, what messages do we have for the Aries? Let's see what's happening first of all between you and the person that you are. Like if you're dealing with a situation. All right. Oh man, Three of Wands reversed. Oh, this is a real one-sided situation. You could be dealing with somebody that may be very selfish, very like greedy and just one-sided. Doesn't really give a shit about anybody but themselves. Very narrow-minded too. Dealing with a very one-sided, narrow-minded individual. Very greedy. They don't care about, it seems like they don't care about anybody but themselves. And they seem like really fixed. And like, there's nothing wrong with being fixed, but like when you're very, very stubborn and small-minded, then that's when it gets kind of annoying. Very judgmental. Good God, man. Huh. Well, I mean, I'm not really seeing a... With the Three of Wands reversed here, it looks like you're kind of tired of waiting to see whether or not things are going to get better with this situation. King of Coins reversed. Maybe for some of you, this person doesn't even bring nothing to the table financially. For some of you, maybe. Or maybe they just make really bad financial decisions. You know, even if they are financially well off. Death card, Three of Wands reversed. There's a part of you deep, deep down on the inside that's just kind of feeling like you're tired of waiting to see if this is going to improve. And you're just waiting for it to be over, basically. Holy shit, man. Wow. Yeah, this puts you way outside of your comfort zone. Just doesn't really seem like this person is taking this serious. Or it just doesn't seem like they're taking really anything serious. Kind of like it's just like a big game to them, you know? Damn. All right. Well, let's see what's coming in next. What's coming in next for Aries? What is due to come in next? Oh, Queen of Swords reversed. Uh-oh. Okay. Another King of Wands reversed. Okay. This might be a test. This might be a test. So... the good news there, I know y'all have heard me talk about this a lot, but the good news is that you're tested when it's time to level up, right? Yep. I think you're going to be tested. So there's going to be an open door of opportunity for you to probably connect with somebody that's either just like the person that you're dealing with or just like the last person you dealt with. So the question is, what are you going to do this time? You know? What are you going to do this time? I think it's going to trigger your defenses immediately. Yeah, it's looking to me like the majority of you are going to pass this test. You're either a really quick learner or some of you may have just been through it so many times that you've already learned your lesson. Okay. Well, that doesn't really sound like it needs advice, but I guess I could pull some advice. Is there any advice for Aries? Is there any advice? Okay. You should never, ever, ever find yourself trying too hard to impress anyone. Don't ever try too hard to make anybody see you a certain way. And when it comes to connecting with two people, when it comes to connecting with a new person, remember balance, okay? Don't be afraid to walk away from something that doesn't feel right, but at the same time, give it a little bit of a chance. Don't just cut and run immediately when you feel something funny, all right? You feel something funny, definitely pay attention to that, okay? I'm not saying ignore it. Something feels off, something feels weird, okay. I'm gonna keep you at an arm's distance and I'm just gonna watch. Maybe it's me. Maybe you're just having a bad day. Maybe you got something going on in your life that's not really any of my business. I don't know. But I'm gonna watch you a little bit, and as we continue connecting and continue talking and dating and fucking or whatever it is we doing, if it just doesn't really seem like I'm getting to the bottom of this energetic anomaly between the two of us, then that's when, okay, I don't think we vibing. Also, I don't know why this came through, but don't take on burdens that aren't yours to take on unless two things. You're in the position to do it, and you do it without expectations. Period. If you want to take on a burden, don't be having expectations. Do it from the kindness of your heart. And if you're not in the position to take on a burden that's not yours to take on, no, it does not make you a bad person to not do it. And if you find yourself dealing with somebody that's trying to shame you into thinking that it is, that's not somebody you need to fucking help anyway. That's a manipulator. All right, Taurus. What are the messages we have for Taurus and the situation they're dealing with? What's going on between Taurus and the person they're dealing with? Universe. Ooh. This is kind of telling me there's some red flags that I don't know if you're not seeing them or if you just don't want to see them. Honestly, I'll tell you how it feels. It feels to me like you don't want to see them. Queen of Coins. You're keeping a pretty level head other than that, though. Other than that, you are keeping a pretty level head, but at the same time, wow, that's weird. 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups. So that has a very Two of Swords type of vibe to it, where it kind of feels like you're a little bit indecisive. You don't really know if you want to keep this going, and maybe one day the two of you can reach that happily ever after place, or if you just want to give up on this. You're kind of torn, I think. Kind of torn. Some of you could be dealing with somebody with some sort of addiction issue, possibly. But it just kind of, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like this person might have some toxic traits to them. But I mean, don't most people have a toxic trait? You're up in your head. You can't figure out whether or not your intuition is screaming at you or if you're just being paranoid about this situation. Hang on a second, y'all. Hold up. I turned my fan up. All right. Okay. I don't really think, like, whatever the situation is, it doesn't really look like it's ending anytime soon. I'm not seeing you abandon it or walk away from it, but it doesn't really look like you're making a decision either. What's coming in for Taurus? Who's the next person coming in for Taurus? Page of Pentacles. Could be another earth sign for some of you. Could be something that kind of starts off slow, or maybe, like, for example, something that you wouldn't expect to turn into a love relationship, you know? Honestly, it feels like this person may be fresh out of a relationship, you know? And I'll give you an example. I'm not saying that this is the exact scenario, but here's an example. Like somebody at the workplace, like maybe an acquaintance at the workplace that you never really thought of like that, but then they end up getting their heart broke and they get dumped or something like that, and that kind of brings the two of you together. Here's that Eight of Swords again, Taurus. What is it with you wanting to ignore red flags? Come on now. This next person coming in has some self-confidence and self-esteem issues. Could be an Aries for some of you. And again with the High Priestess reversed. So you're having a hard time following your intuition on this situation. Okay, well, let's get some advice. Let's get some advice. What's the advice? Hangman, take it slow. Take things slow. Don't be afraid to take things slow, and don't be afraid to not make a decision right away. Now, again, kind of like I was telling Aries, you want to hang in the balance. You want to hang in the balance. Don't move too slow. Don't move too fast. Especially, I think for the majority of you, this is somebody that you already know. However, I don't think it's somebody that you have your eye on. And so you have to understand that when you think you know somebody like that, I don't care how well you think you know them. I don't care if, for example, you and this person have worked side by side for the last 5 years and you've told each other your life stories, and you know their life story like the back of your hand. They know your life story like the back of their hand. The minute you all come together and connect at that level, you're going to see a totally different side of them, and they're going to see a totally different side of you. Oh, I don't care how well you think you know this person. Y'all are going to connect at a level that you've never connected. So don't be afraid to take it slow and learn to develop a relationship between your ego and your intuition without judgment. Okay? And heavy on the no judgment. Ego isn't bad and intuition isn't good. Okay? The goal is not to get rid of your ego. Every time I hear somebody say that, it makes me want to slap the shit out of them. That's the dumbest thing you could say. Your ego is how your soul experiences this life. Your ego is the vehicle that your soul is driving around in this fucking dimension. You can't get rid of that. The goal is for the ego and the higher self to be able to work together as a team, right? That's the goal. So developing an understanding between what your ego is and what your intuition is without judging either one of them, right, will help you navigate situations like this much easier. All right, Gemini. Gemini, what's happening between Gemini and the person they're dealing with, situation they're dealing with? Let's see, ba-boom. Ooh, okay. So for those of you dealing with a situation in which there's no communication, I feel like there will be communication. I do feel like there will be. Boo boop be doo. Boo boop be doo. Uh-oh. But you're walking away from this. Why? Some of you are choosing to just remain single? Some of you are just looping around the same karmic cycle with this person. Okay. This could have been an on and off situation for some of you, or for others of you, you're afraid that that's what it's going to turn into. I'll tell you that this much. This does have all the ingredients you need to create an on and off situation. So it just kind of seems like this person may be a bit of a game player that's not really taking things seriously, or you may just think that they're just playing you, period, in general. So a lot of you are coming to the conclusion that you would rather be single than deal with a fucking player. But the two of you are karmically tied, I'll tell you that much. Man, this is hard to walk away from though, isn't it? This is hard to walk away from, but deep, deep down, you know that releasing what is not meant for you puts you one step closer to attracting your actual divine life partner. I know y'all hear me say this a lot, but if I had to make a list of the top 5 leading causes of people getting to the end of their life without ever attracting their actual person, somewhere on that list would be spinning in circles with the wrong person for too long. Well, what is due to come in next for Gemini? What is due to come in next? What's due to come in next? Oh, that's healing right there. That is healing, so that's not telling me what's coming in next, but it is telling me that the next person that is due to come in is being blocked from coming in until you do a certain level of healing. Now, there's good news here. The good news is that in order to attract the next person, you have to be on a higher vibrational level. So if the next contract is on a higher vibrational level, that would mean that there's more potential for success. Remember, the primary law is the law of vibration. The frequency in which you are vibrating is what will determine what is manifesting between you and the person that you're dealing with. All right, yep. So the next person that is coming in, though, is extremely emotionally independent. Very emotionally independent. They are not clingy. They are not desperate. They are not needy. And when it's really easy if you are in a really low frequency state, like in a place of loneliness, brokenness, emptiness, neediness, you can mistake emotional independence for the person just not being into you. If you're lonely, broken, empty, and needy, an emotionally independent person will come across as somebody that just doesn't want you, doesn't care about you. When you have to ascend up to that same vibration of emotional independence to see that it's not like that at all. No, I do want you. I just don't need you to make me happy. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm responsible for my own happiness, you know? I'm not with you because I need somebody to make me happy. I'm with you to come together with somebody so that we can build a fucking empire together, you know? I don't need you to make me happy. I'm good. I don't need you to fulfill me. I'm complete. You know? I want a partner in building an empire. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's a good thing, though. That is a very good thing. Very good thing. Could be a Sagittarius headed your way for some of you. I also have Scorpio and Pisces here. All right, what advice do we have? What advice do we have? Why does this keep coming out for everybody? No matter what deck I pull from, this comes for everybody's advice. Balance. Balance and patience. Kick your running shoes off and get comfy. You ain't going nowhere. So again, this person is going to be on a very different vibrational level. So what that means is it's going to be unlike any person that you've dealt with before. This situation is going to be unlike any situation that you found yourself in before. So it's really easy for the ego to freak out and get scared when it finds itself in an unfamiliar situation. It doesn't matter how healthy of a situation it is. Come on now, how many people have you seen sabotage good relationships because they're not familiar with them? Happens all the time. People sabotage a good thing with a good person all the time because all they've ever known is toxicity. So they've never even, especially if they grew up like in a household like that, single parent household where whatever parent was raising them constantly had boyfriends or girlfriends coming in and out of the house, and they've never even seen what a genuine committed relationship even looks like. So, and emotional independence. Emotional independence doesn't mean go be alone. It means I don't live in fear of being alone. I'm not with you because I'm afraid of being alone. I don't need you to make me happy. That's not why I'm with you. I'm good. I'm not scared of being alone. I'm happy. I'm good with myself. I'm with you because I see massive potential. I see the potential for a really, really insanely intense connection. I see the potential for me and you to build something fucking amazing, an amazing life partnership, an empire we could build together. See what I'm saying? Make sense? This could be very successful. The next person coming in, absolutely. All right, Cancer. Cancer, what's going on in the situation Cancer is dealing with? What is happening in the situation Cancer is dealing with? Universe. Boop boop be doo. Uh-oh. Karmic cycle. Definitely dealing with a karmic soulmate. Now, don't let that word karma alarm you. When you're with a karmic soulmate, that does not mean that you're being taught a lesson. That does not mean that you've done something wrong. And it does not mean that you're being punished for something. Now, can karma encompass some of those concepts? It can, but that's not what it means intrinsically. What it means is you and this person have unresolved, unfinished business that stems back to a previous lifetime. That's all it means. And yes, karmic contracts are notorious for being much more difficult and challenging, but not for the reasons that you think. I don't really have time to break that down and explain that in this video here today, but don't let that alarm you. So you're kind of starting to feel like you're seeing a lot of red flags in this situation. You're kind of coming to your senses. I think the more you're coming to your senses and the more red flags you're seeing, the more nervous it makes you. So there's this little voice, I think, that's been in the back of your mind for a long time that's been eating at you, trying to point these red flags out, and you've been trying to ignore it, and now it's coming up to the surface and you can't really ignore it anymore. Could be a suspected third party for some of you. There could be a third party in the mix. Ten of Cups reversed. Doesn't look like y'all are reaching that happily ever after. I think you're dealing with somebody that's kind of immature, inconsistent, and it's hard to tell what their actual intentions are. It's hard to tell if they want to actually settle down and build something happy, healthy, and successful. So with that Death card there, you're afraid that it might be coming to an end. I feel like you're afraid to end it, though. You're afraid to let go of it. Can't really bring yourself to letting go of it. All right, what's coming in next? What's coming in next for Cancer? What's coming in next? Knight of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign for some of you. So the next person coming in is still a little bit on the immature side, but they're not as inconsistent as this last person that you dealt with. Still a little bit immature, but at least you can see that they have a straighter head on their shoulders. They're a little bit more cautious. They're more consistent. Their actions match up with their words. Their words match up with their actions. So Knight of Pentacles makes you feel a lot better than a Knight of Wands. Knight of Swords, good communicator. This could start off as mainly a communication-based situation. Some of you are dealing with somebody at the workplace too. It's gonna get real sexual, real quick too. All right, but you can tell you really feel like the universe brought you and this person together. Like however it happens, I don't know exactly like how the two of you are coming together, but whatever it is that's bringing the two of you together, it's like one of those things that blows your mind. Like, you know, I can tell the universe brought us together. There's no way around that. There's no denying the universe brought us together. You can tell that, you know, the two of you coming together was very divinely guided. Fucking amazing communication, though. Amazing communication. That's probably like a weight off your chest in and of itself. All right, do we have any advice? Do we got any advice? Ooh, the Hierophant reversed. Hang on. Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. Four of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so don't be in such a rush to try to make things happen a certain way. All right, don't be in such a rush to try to like force things to happen a certain way so that you can try to create the outcome that you want overnight. Okay, just do the best you can to just kind of go with the flow. And I hate using that phrase because, like, I don't mean don't do nothing. All right, what I mean is don't do so much that you're fighting against the universe. Don't try to force nothing. Put in effort, but don't try to force nothing. Just for the most part, put forth effort and let the universe take care of the rest. Let this unfold the way that it naturally wants to unfold. And keep that communication going. Keep deepening your all's communication. All right? Same two cards. Same two cards. Focus on that communication. Because I think that that's probably going to be one of the very first things that you notice within the first year of this person coming in is you communicate with them better than you've communicated with anybody ever. All right. Okie dokie. Leo. Leo. What are the messages for the situation Leo is dealing with? Boo boop be doo. What are the messages for the situation Leo is dealing with? Uh-oh. Magician reverse. Some of you might be dealing with a manipulator. Okay, it feels kind of like you're trying the best you can to detach yourself from this situation. Yeah, it almost kind of feels like you want to walk away from this and just turn your feelings off, but you can't do that. Because it seems like this person has turned their feelings off. That's what it seems like. From the looks of it, from your perspective, it just doesn't look like this person gives a shit. So I think you're digging deep down inside of yourself, trying to figure out how to just flip your feelings off too. But it doesn't look like that's working out very well. Yeah, you're not having a very easy time doing that. Now, for those of you dealing with a situation in which there is no communication, I think there will be communication. I do think there will be. I think a love offer will be made. But see, this is still real one-sided. Yep. Justice, Six of Pentacles, both reversed. This is still very one-sided. Whatever is happening between the two of you is very unfair. One, the other, or both of you may feel like you're being treated very unfairly. Ooh, there could have been infidelity in the past for some of you. You could have caught this person in a lie or just strongly suspect that they're lying about something. Damn, dude. Okay, what's coming in? What is coming in for Leo? Who's the next person coming in? Ooh, okay, well, the next person, hang on, let me see what else comes out with that. Hold up. Ah, yeah, that's what I thought. So I think the next person coming in is a very busy individual. Very, very busy. And I don't know if you trust that. Like, it may be the type of situation where you're always hearing, I'm sorry, I'm busy with work. Like maybe they're inconsistent with their communication and they say stuff like, oh, sorry, I was busy. I'm busy with work and this and that. And it kind of feels like there's a part of you that may not really trust that. And that could lead to some disagreements in the very beginning. Some serious disagreements. But honestly, now I know this isn't everybody's story, but it screamed at me, so I have to put it out there. For those of you dealing with somebody who comes in next, who's always giving you the excuse that they're busy with work, they're not lying to you. They are not lying to you. This person is busy with work. But it's making it hard for you to feel a real deep connection with them. Like you're trying to form a genuine connection. You really want to commit to this, but you're having a hard time doing that. Maybe this person works 2 jobs or or, you know, maybe they work a job where they're not allowed to have their phone while they're working or something like that. I don't think they're lying to you. I really don't. Just got to throw that out there. Well, let's get some advice. What deck do I use? How about this one? What advice do we have? Don't neglect cultivating a friendship with this person in the beginning. I'm not saying neglect the emotional connection, but don't let the intensity of the emotions pull the wool over your eyes so that you never really form a friendship. And see, anytime two people come together, or anytime you obtain anything new into your life, it creates a big explosion of emotions, especially when you bring a new person into your life. It creates a really, really, really intense explosion of emotions. Now, here's the thing about that. That intense explosion of emotions that you feel when you bring a new person into your life can be very distracting. It can distract you from almost everything else going on in your life. And another thing it can distract you from is your pain and your heartache. So that's why a lot of people jump into new relationships specifically to distract themselves from their pain and their heartache, and they think that feeling is love, and it's not. That feeling is not love. Whether or not true love is there between the two of you won't even expose itself until that in the beginning feeling starts to wear off. But don't let that crazy, intense explosion of emotions distract you from cultivating a genuine, like BFF fucking relationship with the person. Because like I said, eventually that feeling's gonna wear off, and then what do you have? Then what do you got? Nothing. If you never formed a friendship with the person, that's when most relationships start going downhill. So be sure y'all can hang out, have a good time together, do things together, do things just like friends would. Be sure you can form that part of the connection. All right, Virgo. Man, it's fucking hot in here. Why is it so goddamn hot in here? Virgo. What's going on with the situation that Virgo's dealing with? What is happening? Anything improving? Will it take a turn for the best, take a turn for the worst, or plateau out and stay the same? Ace of Cups reversed. Some of you are concerned that there's unrequited love here. It feels like you're in a situation in which you care more about them than they do you. Yeah, you're starting to feel like you're wasting your time. Some of you are seriously kicking yourselves in the ass, feeling like you're a failure, or feeling like you're wasting your time. Damn, this is another one that's come out for 3 or 4 signs. Same 2 cards. I'm getting tired of waiting to see whether or not this situation is ever going to improve itself. And some of you have been patiently waiting to see if things are ever going to improve. Are things going to get better? Are we ever going to get to that place of happily ever after, rainbows and unicorns? And I'm just getting tired of waiting on it. You're getting annoyed, irritated, pissed off. Y'all are basically stuck in a karmic cycle, looping around in the same karmic cycle. Some of you are dealing with a Pisces. I also have Leo. Could be a Libra for some of you as well. Yeah, that Knight of Wands keeps jumping out tonight. Person that you're dealing with is immature, inconsistent. They don't know what they want, and they don't know who they want. Thinking this person probably has their options open. So, yeah. Tower card. All right, well, what's coming in for Virgo? Who's the next person coming in for the Virgo collective? Who's the next person coming? God damn, this is another one that keeps coming out for everybody. Could be somebody at the workplace. Could be a fellow earth sign for some of you. A fellow Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. Okay. So this next person kind of seems a little bit antsy, a little bit restless, irritable, and discontent. They're afraid of abandonment. They're afraid of rejection, and they have trust issues. This person was cheated on in the past, and I don't think they're fresh out of a relationship. Matter of fact, to the contrary, this kind of feels like somebody to me that's very, very comfortable being single. They've probably been single for a while. However, that doesn't mean that they've healed from the shit that they've been through in the past. I don't think they've done any healing, but they have been single long enough to where they may seem a little bit awkward, a little bit like they don't really know what they're doing. They're rusty when it comes to dating, is what this feels like to me. Man, they all about their money, though. Man, this person is all about their money and they work and they finance. And hey, I haven't met too many Virgos in my life that would have any qualms with that. But low self-confidence, little to no self-esteem, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. So that's what happens when you go Nine of Pentacles mode and you just kind of go be single and independent, but you don't go Nine of Cups mode and you don't actually heal those problems in there. You just learn how to function by yourself and get real good at it while you're just holding on to all this trauma and heartache. But nobody can tell by looking at you because you appear to have your poop in a group and your shit together, and nobody can really tell that anything's wrong with you. But then when you try to date that person, then they're all kind of like awkward and weird and nervous and anxious and, you know. All right. What advice do we have? What advice do we have for the Virgo family? What's the advice? Ooh, man, don't be afraid to be vulnerable with this person. But be patient. You know, I mean, be vulnerable. Be the change that you want to see. Right? Open up and be vulnerable. And be patient and let them open up and be vulnerable on their own terms. See, there is an art to being vulnerable, okay? And the art has a lot to do with emotional independence. See, if I am solid with myself and I know where my heart is, I know what my intentions are, and the universe knows what my intentions are. So I can be vulnerable with you, and maybe I can't trust you. Maybe I can't, right? The reason why so many people are afraid to be vulnerable is because they have expectations. If they be vulnerable, they're expecting that person they're expecting to be able to trust that person with their vulnerability. Well, maybe you can't. Maybe I can't trust you with the way I feel. But you know what? I am so rock solid with myself that if you fuck this up, you're the dumbass, not me. You're the idiot. You're the one that burnt the bridge that could have led to the greatest empire you'll ever experience in your life. So be patient, open up and be vulnerable, be patient, and let them be vulnerable on their own terms. This is telling me that if you get too pushy, too demanding, too impatient, that won't end well. It'll just erupt in conflict between the two of you. All right, especially if you're dealing with a fixed sign. Okay. Who is that? Virgo? Libra. Libra, what is going on with the situation Libra is dealing with? What's up, y'all? Thank you, Michaela. I appreciate your efforts in there. Any other moderators in there? I appreciate y'all. Oh. All right, right, Libra, what is going on with the situation Libra is dealing with? Boo boo be doo. Do y'all? So okay, let me stop for a minute. Sorry, Libra. Do y'all like it like this? Like with me up close in portrait mode? I had to change it because YouTube changed the algorithm. I don't like it like this. I really don't. I like it back there with the landscape view so that you can see me and see the room around me. And like, I don't like it up close and in portrait mode. But see, YouTube changed the algorithm to where, you know, when live streams are favored by people in portrait mode because now it's put in the shorts feed. So now people flipping through shorts can come into the live stream, and I don't like it. I don't like it. But that's how the algorithm favors it, so that's kind of how I have to do it. So anyway, just wondering what y'all thought about it. I used to always do it like this back in the day when I very first started reading, and then once I really like settled down and got like my studio set up and everything, and I got me a stable little workstation that I could set at a table, and I put a big tripod behind me that could, you know, hold my phone up. Then I like it in landscape so that you can see everything and get a good view of me and the cards and whatnot. But damn YouTube algorithm, man. Anyway, all right, sorry about that, Libra. All right. Boop boop be doo. What's going on with the situation Libra is dealing with? Boop-be-doo. Okay, of course, flippy floppy Libra, of course. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, you are very indecisive about what to do with this situation. I think you don't know whether or not to stick around to see if things will improve or just completely end this altogether. You're contemplating ending this, but with the Lover's card reversed, you just don't really know. It just doesn't really feel like you and this person have as deep of a connection as you could have. But with the Two of Swords there, I kind of feel like it kind of goes back and forth. Like maybe one day you do feel like it's the craziest connection you've ever felt. And then other days you're completely questioning it. Like, am I just making this up in my head? I get that question from time to time. It's a fairly common question that I get in my personal readings. Am I just making this connection up in my head? Well, I got news for you. I don't care who you are. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Nobody ever takes up space in your head randomly for no reason. Ever. Now, why is this person taking space in your head? That's the question. See, we humans are designed to look at things in tiny little boxes, right? And the most common box that we try to shove everything in is the romance box, right? So even if it doesn't have anything to do with romance, it could serve a much bigger purpose that'll reveal itself later on down the line. But if somebody is living in your head rent-free, no, that is not random. No, that is not an accident. And no, you are not making it up in your head. That person is a very near and dear member of your soul family. I can promise you that. All right, well, that's about all I can get. It's really seeming like you're trying to keep your priorities in order, make the smartest, most logical, reasonable decision when it comes to this situation here. So, but when it comes down to it, you're not making a decision, though. You're still going back and forth as to what to do with this situation. It's not telling me anything about them. That's the part that's driving me nuts about that first spread there, is that it's telling me how you're feeling, but it's not telling me anything about the person you're dealing with. Well, let's see what's due to come in next. Who is coming in next for Libra? Who is coming in next for Libra? Ooh, you got a Knight of Cups coming in next. Right on. Okay, so this person could be coming on pretty strong, honestly. They could be coming on pretty strong, and something alerts your spidey senses with this person. And I think it might have a lot to do with the fact that I do think this person is very fresh out of a relationship. Very fresh. So you are concerned that they may be love bombing you. We got a Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, right? This has love bombing written all over it. But I know that's a very frequently used buzzword that usually has negative connotations attached to it. Because why? Because it is a common tactic used by narcissists. But just because somebody's love bombing you doesn't necessarily mean they are a narcissist. They could be, but not necessarily intrinsically. So far, I'm not seeing anything here indicating that you have anything to worry about, but you're very suspicious, especially those of you who know this person is fresh out of a relationship. All right? Like if it's somebody that you know, somebody at the workplace or in your friend group or whatever the case may be, or maybe they're just open about it. Yeah, man, my ex-fiance, last week I just caught my fiance fucking my best friend or some shit like that. And it's like, whoa, your fiance? So you were about to get married? So your last relationship was serious. Fucking serious. And it just ended last week? Are you ready for a new relationship yet? Right? So you're kind of staying a little closed off to this person. You're kind of holding your cards close to your chest, as it were, you know? Not opening up to this person emotionally right away. Okay, well, let's get the advice. Have I used all my decks now? No, I haven't used this one. What's the advice? I just gave you that advice like a week ago, didn't I? Okay, hang on. Let me see what else comes through. And I like the way it's illustrated in this card. Hang on, okay. Yeah, okay, all right. So we got the Queen of Swords here. But I like this Queen of Swords because as you can see, she's like holding her hand out, which is kind of like keeping you at an arm's distance. So set boundaries. Nothing crazy and outlandish, but this is one. Now, this isn't the guaranteed end-all be-all for every situation, but in the vast majority of situations, when you're dealing with any type of new person, whether it's a friend, romance, or anybody, this can tell you a lot about a person. Set some boundaries. Now, again, nothing crazy and outlandish, just common sense, common decency boundaries, right? And see if they respect your boundaries. See if they respect them. Another common question that I get, not the most common in the world, but it's not as uncommon as you would think, is how can I tell if I'm being manipulated? I get that question fairly frequently. And here's what I tell people. A person who is not trying to manipulate you will respect your boundaries and your decisions, even if it doesn't benefit them. If I make a decision or I set a boundary that does not benefit you, and you respect that, hey, I hold you to high regard in my book. But if I set some sort of boundary or I make a decision and you don't respect that, you start pushing and taunting and poking and trying to talk me out of it and trying to bend and twist me and persuade me. I'm like, whoa, I will lose respect for you almost fucking instantly. Instantly. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me you have no respect for me. None. And here's what most manipulators will do. Most manipulators are comfortable with their ability to persuade people. But I know, Libra, you're not a fixed sign, but maybe some of you may have some fixed energy in your chart. If not, you're just going to have to pull some fixed energy out of the ether. And if you're like me, though, and you stubborn as fuck, I'm a fixed sign. I'm a stubborn ass. When I make a fucking decision, good luck trying to change my mind. It ain't happening. And the harder you try to persuade me, the deeper I'll dig my heels in, you know? And what most manipulators will do, though, when they can't persuade you, is they'll blow up on you. They'll blow up and start throwing a fit, shaming you, guilt tripping you, and that's when you, oh, okay, you were never somebody I needed in my life to begin with. So, starting off, set a few boundaries, common sense, common human decency boundaries. See how this person respects it. I think you'll find that this person is a very respectful individual. I think you'll find that. I'm not seeing anything that you really genuinely need to worry about. Not at least right off the bat. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio. What's happening with Scorpio and the situation they're dealing with? Ooh, Eight of Swords reversed. You're kind of feeling like you're coming to your senses and seeing some red flags. Uh-oh, Queen of Cups reversed. What is that all about? Uh-oh, the Devil card. And the codependency card came out in the same spread. So it does kind of look like there's some toxic codependency energy in this situation here. I can't tell who's bringing that energy to the table, though. I don't really think it's you because of the Queen of Cups reversed. I kind of feel like you're kind of closing off to this person in this situation right now because it's kind of toxic. Thank you, Andrea, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. You're kind of, maybe for some of you, you know what else? Maybe this person has some little addiction issue. For some of you, maybe they've been trying to keep it a secret. And you're kind of, oh, okay, are you using? You drinking? You can, you know, like maybe they're trying to keep it a secret. But you're kind of starting to come to your senses and notice the red flags about this person, about this situation, but you're not walking away from this. You're hanging on, hanging in there. Hanging on and hanging in there, but no improvement. Seven of Swords, Devil card. You know who the Seven of Swords is, right? The liar, the cheater, the sneaky, deceitful little fuckbag. Let's see what's coming in next for Scorpio. What is coming in next for Scorpio? Boom. Queen of Swords. Star card. Could be an Aquarius for some of you. So this person may kind of come across like a little detached and cold in the beginning. But I do think they will open up. I don't know. Maybe they kind of go back and forth. They kind of go a little bit back and forth between being kind of cold and detached and being open and vulnerable. So you're really, really, really trying to like pay attention to your intuition on this situation. It may kind of turn you off a little bit with the Queen of Wands reversed. This person's like their energetic inconsistency may be kind of a turn off to you, where, you know, 1 minute they're open, they're vulnerable. It seems like y'all are connecting at a real deep level, and then for no reason at all, they just turn it off and they're just cold. And it may be a little bit confusing. And it kind of feels like it might be a turn off to you. I'm not seeing anything that you really need to worry about, though. For those of you wondering, no, this person does not have a DM full of other people. So they're not talking to a bunch of other people. They're not losing interest in you and trying to walk away. They are very materialistic, though. This person is very materialistic. They're all about their money. Also, too, I think that for some of you, may hear this person say that they're very busy all the time, and sometimes people don't believe that. That's one thing that I think causes a lot of issues in relationships, is when somebody uses the excuse, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. And people may not believe that. Well, this person is telling you the truth. This individual is a very, very busy person, right? They all about their money. They probably put their work, their career, and their finance above all other things. So let's get some advice. What's the advice for Scorpio? What is the advice? Oh man, Queen of Swords reversed. Hang on. 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, all right. So don't let a new relationship distract you from healing that needs to be done from the past. You don't want to bleed on somebody who didn't cut you. Now, here's where every time I give this advice, I always have to be careful with my words. Don't compare a new person to a past person. Don't look into the future through the lens of the past. Don't waller around in the past. But, know when it's appropriate to reach back in the past and grab some wisdom and integrate it into your path moving forward. I know that may kind of sound a little bit paradoxical, but it's really not. There actually is a big difference between comparing somebody to a past person and when a red flag presents itself, then and only then reaching back in the past and grabbing the wisdom from the last time you experienced that red flag and integrating it. There's a difference there. And it is a tedious, nuanced difference. But other than that, focus on communication. Don't ever put anybody, I don't know why this is coming through, but don't ever put anybody on any kind of pedestal. Like, don't ever look at anybody as out of your league or better than you. And on the other side of that coin, don't put yourself on a pedestal. Don't view yourself as out of anybody else's league either, because I'm telling you what, them tables can turn real fucking quick. Real quick. You see it happen all the time. So don't be putting nobody on no pedestals. Nobody's better than the next person. Nobody is more exalted than the next person. We all regular ass humans. We all bleed red blood. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, and we all wipe our ass when we do. So we're all the same up in here. All right. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. What's going on with the situation Sagittarius is dealing with? Boop, boopy doo. Boop, boo, buddy doo. Strength card. Some of you dealing with a Leo, possibly. Hang on. Don't know what to say about that yet. Some of you may be wondering, I don't know, some of you may be feeling like you jumped into a situation too fast. Yeah. Some of you may be feeling like you jumped into this too fast. You may be kicking yourself in the ass. Like, what the hell did I do? What mistake did I make? I shouldn't have jumped into this so fast. All right, I should have had my priorities in order. Why did I do that? Some of you are kind of like blaming yourself, thinking that you did something stupid. So it doesn't really look like this situation has moved much further than a sex-based connection. And some of you could be dealing with somebody with some sort of addiction issue, possibly. But I'm really honestly feeling like the majority of you are more angry with yourself than anything. And like you're kind of blaming yourself. You're kind of, even if they're the ones that did you dirty, you're still kind of like thinking, well, I just jumped into this too fast. I should have got to know them better. I should have thought this through. I shouldn't have let my excitement take the wheel and lead the way and make decisions for me, you know. But you are dealing with an Emperor reverse devil. Could be an Aries or a Capricorn for some of you. Well, it's not telling me what's happening with the situation. So usually when it doesn't tell me what's happening, that means nothing is happening. Means that this is basically just turning into nothing but a burden. Things are not really improving. Nothing happening here. Let's see what's coming in next, though. What's due to come in next for Sagittarius? Boop, boop, be doo. What's due to come in next? What's due to come in next? Could be an earth sign for some of you. Now, the next person that comes in is going to want to take things slow. So even if you try to jump head first into this, they ain't gonna be trying to like move very quickly. Could be an earth sign for some of you. Yeah, this is telling me, look, see, the same cards. You may be kind of wanting to jump into this, but maybe that's you wanting to take things slow. I think both of you are, even if you do want to like jump into this, you're kind of holding yourself back. This person's definitely not the type to want to move that quickly. They could be a business owner for some of you, but with the Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, you know that this isn't very fast-moving energy. This person is all about their money, they work, they finance. Could be a business owner or somebody that's just very financially well off. Ooh, and we got a Page of Pentacles in here. So it's going to move kind of slow in the beginning, but as long as you take it slow, and, you know, let things kind of just roll the way they're naturally wanting to roll, it does look like there is a lot of potential for massive, massive success. All right. Do we have any advice? Do we have any advice for Sagittarius? Any advice? Queen of Pentacles. Don't be afraid to take things slow, even if it gets a little bit boring. Sometimes shit gotta be boring sometimes. Everything can't be exciting all the time. Keep your priority list in order. Don't be afraid to be in a relationship that's a little bit boring from time to time. I got news for everybody out there. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sign is. When the universe bring you your person, oh, it's going to get boring. Oh, there'll be times where it does get boring. Yep. Wait till that initial excitement wears off and all the intensity, you know, in the beginning wears off. Then there will be times where things get boring. You have to be able to be okay with that. I'm not saying that you're going to be bored for the rest of your life. I'm just saying that there will be those periods in time where things are kind of boring. Shut the door on any potential love interest. If you go into a new relationship with a backup plan, it is destined to fail. Do you believe that when the universe brings you your divine life partner, that you will even be considering anybody else? I promise you, you won't. Promise you, you won't. So slam the door shut on any and all potential love interests. And make sure you and this person can cultivate a genuine friendship in the beginning. And be patient, be balanced, don't be afraid to take things slow. Better to go slow in the right direction than to hit a brick wall at 100 miles an hour. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn. What is happening with the situation Capricorn's dealing with right now? What is happening? Ooh, you're irritated, annoyed, pissed off, bitter, angry, resentful. Could have been infidelity or suspected infidelity. You could suspect that maybe this person's lying to you about another person or a situation. Conflict is being avoided But you just really, really, really strongly suspect that you really can't fully trust this person. Doesn't seem like they're taking things seriously. You are starting to highly, highly suspect that this person is just playing you, just playing games with you. But with the Two of Wands here, you're still not 100% sure exactly what to do with this situation. That's been kind of a repeating message coming through for a lot of the signs. Maybe coming out of this Mercury retrograde post-shadow. Man, this has been the heaviest post-shadow I've ever felt in my life. I've never felt post-shadow before. Ever. Ever. Never. This is the first time I have ever felt the post-shadow. This has been a crazy heavy one, dude. So, so things are just kind of hanging in the limbo here. No decision is being made. Whatever decision needs to be made in order for things to start improving, it's not happening. Things are kind of hanging in the limbo. Not fucking improving, but again, conflict is being avoided though. So at least that's good. I'm not seeing it blow up into a bunch of drama between the two of you. What's coming in next for Capricorn? What's coming in next for Capricorn? I think you're going to be more than likely connecting with somebody you already know. I do think you already know this person. But the crazy thing about it is that you feel like, even if you've only known them for a month, you feel like you've known them your whole life, right? And you ain't gonna give a shit about anybody else when you meet this person. This person is going to completely captivate your entire mind. Even if you are, some of you, maybe one or two of you, maybe kind of wondering if an ex is going to come back, you won't care about that ex when this person shows up. Maybe if you really have your eye on this person, man, and you really want to get with this person, when this person comes into your life, you ain't going to care about that. You ain't going to care about nobody else. I think it is a long-term contract. Ooh, Lover's card, boy. Yeah, you ain't going to be giving no shits about nobody else when this person show up. A lot of you, this your person due to come in. A lot of you. That's your person. Some of you could be a Sagittarius. I also have Taurus and Gemini here. All right. Any advice? Any advice for Capricorn? Okay, well, don't jump in head first. See, all the same messages keep coming through for everybody. How many signs have gotten this advice? Be patient. Don't be afraid to take things slow. Try to maintain a healthy balance between your logical and your emotional mind. Most people are very imbalanced as far as that goes. Your average person is either one or the other. They're either entirely too logical or they're entirely too emotional. Well, we all have a logical mind and an emotional mind. The goal is not to be either team logic or team emotion. The goal is to develop a healthy balance between the two. So, man, I'm going to tell you what. If you can take this slow and just let things kind of unfold the way they naturally want to unfold. And I don't know why this is coming through, because, again, the same thing I told Sagittarius, close out any other potential love interests, no other backup plans, which I think you're doing that anyways. I feel like you're doing that, but yeah, no other potential love interest, shut them all out. And don't let the intensity, like that feeling that you get when you feel like you've known somebody your whole life, all that is soul recognition. Okay, there's nothing weird about that. There's nothing special or unique or out of the ordinary, or that's totally normal. All that means is you are remembering what your soul was planning before you got here. That's all that means. That is all that means. I know how it feels. That's how I felt when I met my person. When I first met my wife, first time I saw her, I'm like, where the fuck do I know you from? Like, it was driving me nuts. I even asked her, I'm like, this is going to sound like a silly question, but did you ever do anything like acting? Have you ever, like, because I knew she lived in Southern California. I'm like, you didn't ever do anything like, was an extra in a movie, or did you ever act in any commercials or anything? Like, I was seriously racking my brain, like, where the fuck do I know you from? All that is soul recognition. Your soul is remembering what you planned before you got here. Don't let it freak you out. A lot of people get really freaked out about that. They're like, oh my God, why do I feel this way? Why have I known this person my whole life? It feels like it, rather. Why am I having dreams about this person? Been having dreams about them since before we met. Soul recognition. That's all it is. It's nothing weird. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's totally normal. It's totally natural. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius. What is going on in the situation Aquarius is dealing with? I'm not feeling this deck. Hang on. What is happening with the situation Aquarius is dealing with? Uh-oh, Two of Cups reversed. So this is something that either came to an end or something that's not really moving forward. This could be kind of like a potential connection that's just not taking lift off. It's like one of them crappy little airplanes, you know, it's like, you know. I don't know, I can't tell if it's something that's either not getting up off the ground or it came to an end, one of the two. Man, you are dealing with one confusing individual, aren't you? This individual is confusing the shit out of you. Could be a water sign for some of you. Yeah, I can't help it. This feels like there's a lot of past energy in here. So something happened in the past here that is causing... All I'm going to say to generalize that is that something happened in the past that is causing the majority of the issues here. But you're starting to get really irritated and frustrated with this person and this situation. They're acting super confusing. They may act one way one day, another way another day, but you're not ending this though. I think for some of you, this is a past person that you do have past history with. Can't help it. Death reversed, Six of Cups reversed, and has past energy written all over it. For those of you not dealing with a past person, I think they are dealing with a past person. That's their problem. One of the two. And that's the biggest issue here. Like, this person may be coming across really, really confusing because they actually want to get back with their ex. Or they actually are very energetically tied to somebody else. So, it could be a Scorpio for some of you. Also have Cancer, Virgo. And that's it. All right, what's coming in next for Aquarius? Who's the next person coming in for Aquarius? Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign for some of you. Well, this person is fresh out of a relationship. Why does that keep coming through? So this person's very deep and mysterious. That's very intriguing. You're very intrigued by this person. But at the same time, you don't know whether or not to feel intrigued by this person, or like there's also a part of you that's like, I ain't stupid. You ain't fooling me. You know, okay, you're having a hard time figuring out whether or not this person's manipulating you, being secretive, or if they're just deep and mysterious. You can't really figure them out, and that might kind of annoy you a little bit, especially if they're not a very good communicator and you can't really get them to articulate what's going on in their heart and mind. you all about communication, and they may not be the greatest communicator in the world. So it may kind of feel like a bit of an unstable connection in the very beginning that doesn't really seem to be taking off and moving very quickly. Wow, okay. So you're feeling like there's some red flags here. It's kind of triggering your defenses. You're really starting to lean towards thinking that this person's just being sneaky and secretive. Doesn't look like it so far, but let's get the advice. What's the advice for Aquarius? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Express your concerns like a mature adult. Okay, now, I know, especially when you very first connect with somebody, that can be a slippery conversation to have. But start tossing it in there, right? And at least get the person warmed up to the idea that like, I'm having a hard time figuring you out. I can't really tell what's going on with you. You're kind of confusing. I can't tell what you're thinking. I can't really tell what you're feeling. And I don't like that, right? It bothers me. Let that be known. But like I said, don't be aggressive about it. Don't be like rude or nasty or anything like that. And see if they make any effort to try to alleviate your concerns. All right? I'm not saying that they should flip a switch and just do things the way you want them to do them overnight. But see if there's any kind of effort to alleviate your concerns. If they at least make the smallest effort to alleviate your concerns, that means I care how you feel. If they make no effort whatsoever to alleviate your concerns and they just act like they don't give a shit, then they don't. That's a very clear indication I don't really care how you feel. And that'll tell you everything you need to know about a person in the beginning. Well, maybe not everything, but a lot. It'll tell you a lot about them. All right, Pisces, what's happening with the situation Pisces is dealing with? What's happening with the situation Pisces is dealing with? Some of you are waiting to hear from this person. You're either waiting to hear from them or waiting for them to make an offer, possibly waiting for them to take things to the next level. I don't know. There's a part of you that's kind of starting to lose interest, though. Kind of starting to lose interest. I don't know. I think there's potential for long-term stability between the two of you. And I think at a deep level that the two of you could have something long-term and committed, but like whatever this is you're waiting on, whether you're waiting on communication, waiting on them to make some kind of offer, waiting on them to take the initiative to take things to the next level, whatever it is that you're waiting on, you're getting tired of waiting. And I'm thinking you're just kind of starting to lose interest. It may have you a little bit nervous and losing sleep kind of in the beginning, but it's kind of getting to the point where I'm like, this screams I'm over it. Like, I'm just losing the passion, losing the interest, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. I don't know what it is that you're waiting on, but whatever it is you're waiting on, whatever decision needs to be made, it ain't being made. So some of you might just ditch this situation for a new person altogether. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like somebody else is going to come in and swoop you up and probably take you away from this person, honestly. That's what it's feeling like. That's what it's feeling like. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius, possibly. Let's see who is coming in next for Pisces. Who is coming in next for the Pisces family? Who's the next person coming in? Boom. Yup, see? Could be younger than you. Maybe a little bit immature. But I don't think that they're a bad person, really. Yeah, they're coming in hot, heavy, and strong. Could be coming in kind of love bombing you. Maybe they want to move really fast. They seem kind of impatient. They don't really want to take things slow. And again, some of you, it could be somebody younger than you. That's very typical of young people to act like that. But I don't really feel like it's coming from a bad place, though. Not really, but you are concerned that they may be playing mind games with you. I don't think they are. Just to let you know, I don't think so. I just think this person's a little bit immature. We got all these pages here. Yeah, page, knight. So you're doing the best you can to try to keep a level head and make logical decisions here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, so I'm not reading intentions in here, but I will tell you, I don't see this person coming from a bad place at all. I do not. King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Okay, we only got one king here, that's the King of Pentacles. But I don't think this person's coming from a bad place. It may trigger the shit out of your defenses, right? But I don't think they're coming from a bad place. I really don't. Now, does that mean that everything is going to work out perfectly? Not necessarily. But at least, you know, I want you to know that they're not coming from a bad place. What's the advice? What is the advice? Don't be too quick to judge a situation. Be sure you're standing strong in your emotional independence. Do not expect a person or a relationship to be your only source of happiness. Do not let a new relationship distract you from any healing that needs to be done from the past. Don't end this just because something weird and crazy happens, you know, or just because things seem kind of crazy in the beginning. If anything, keep them at an arm's distance and observe their general intentions. Observe this person in multiple different types of scenarios to observe their intentions generally, such as, can their friends count on them? You know, do they talk behind their friends' back? Do they tell their friends secrets? Do they lie to their family members? Are they lying to their friends? Are they rude and disrespectful to the waiter at the restaurant? You know, things like that. Just observe their general intentions. I think that you will find that they may be a little bit immature, but they come from a really good place. They do have good intentions. And then make your decision from there. That doesn't mean just because they have good intentions, doesn't mean that it's going to work out perfectly. You know, because, you know, an immature person with good intentions can still do really stupid shit, right? And a sneaky, deceitful manipulator with bad intentions can do really good things, can't they? So, all right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that all my signs of the zodiac needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. A couple announcements to make that I wanted to save for the end of the video. Some of you may have noticed that lately I've been experimenting with reading on TikTok. And the other night, my wife and I got on and just kind of sat and chatted and shot the shit. Kind of like what we do for the 2222s, but we were just mainly sitting and chatting and hanging out. And we're going to be doing that once a week. So if you want to go follow me on TikTok, I'm not sure what day it's going to be. We'll announce it. But once a week, we're going to be doing like a TikTok live, sit and chat and hang out. And if you want me to read a little $10 question or something like that, I'll do it. But it's going to be like a little hang out and fucking read tarot or whatever. So you can go over there and follow me on TikTok. Also, I think a lot of you already caught the memo on this one, but just in case, I did create a new YouTube channel that is dedicated to nothing but music and guitars, because I just recently picked the guitar back up for the first time in many years, and my passion has been reawakened. I have no clue where I'm taking that channel yet. I don't know what direction I'm taking it in. It's just one of those things where you just kind of start doing it and see where it goes naturally. For now, I'm calling the channel Rich Lops Music Channel. I can almost guarantee you I'm going to change the name of it within the next month or so. but I had to give it a name to start it. So if you want to go to the search bar and type in Rich Lops Music Channel, click filters and channel, it'll pop up. So other than that, don't forget to check the description of the video if you'd like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.